All right, so we're Team Oxford. We actually did two projects. So we worked on connotation translation as well as a scientific translator.
All right, so we built two products, as Neil just said, a connotation changer, which takes text and changes its connotation, but keeps its literal meaning, and a scientific translator, which takes scientific articles and makes them easier to read. So here is our team and what each of us did. So I cleaned and merged data sets and did a lot of debugging. Nathan worked a lot on the front end of both projects and put together our scientific translator model. Chris cleaned data and implemented it into our model. Neil developed our connotation algorithm, and Robert was our instructor, and we couldn't have done it without him. So thanks a bunch, Robert.
All right. Now I'm just going to go into a little bit about how our connotation changer works and how we built it. So our connotation changer uses the Vader lexicon dataset, which consists of words and their corresponding sentiment value, which is represented by a number on a scale of -4 to +4. We were able to use regular expressions to clean and extract what we needed, and we were able to use Beautiful Soup 4's web scraper to construct a Python dictionary of synonyms from synonym.com. Our algorithm takes in a user sentence and their new connotation as inputs, and it tries to find synonyms of words that we want to replace that have a sentiment difference closest to the sentiment increment. Once all the words have been processed, we return our modified text.
So why did we make this project? Well, the main reason why we made this project was to help with writing, and more particularly writing with connotation. With this project, with this product, you will be able to input a text and modify the connotation to how you would prefer it to be.
All right, so let's take a look at a couple of demos. So basically, I'm going to input some text and it's going to modify the connotation. And one really important thing is it actually doesn't change the original meaning of the text at all. We make sure to preserve it, unlike many other connotation changers out there. So let's start with an example like I hate you. And so if we wanted to make this a lot more negative, we can do that. Something like I despise you, or we can make it a lot more positive and have it just be a lesser version of hate. I just dislike you. We can do a slightly more complicated example, like I really like you. And if we make it maybe a little bit more positive, I very love you. Sometimes the adverb is not the best, but what you can do is just press the submit button and it'll give you a new one, exceedingly, or I deeply love you. So you can change it around. And we'll do one more. You disappoint me. And let's go for the negative this time. So somewhat more negative, something like you fail me. So that would be a little bit more harsh.
All right, let's go to the Science Translator now. So the Science Translator is a website, is our product where you can put in a science article or excerpt. You can put it inside that text box, and then inside the translate text box, they'll output the summary of your excerpt. So if you go to the slides, we don't have enough time to demo the website for you. So, but we prepared some examples that you can look at. So here, for this example, we have an article about climate change. So we put the entire article into that text box and we got a paragraph of that article. Next slide. And we have another example of an article that talks about wolves, and it's the same concept, put the article in and text summary out. So next slide. So the AI that we use is called T5. T5 basically is an AI that can generate text. We put in text that we want the AI to look at, and we put in text that we want the AI to generate, and then the AI will figure out how to use the inputted text in order to generate the summaries of the articles. So next slide. So how did we use T5? We used T5 by putting in full text of articles from a database called arXiv, which is an open repository of free science articles. We put in the full text of the article with the abstract of that article, and then T5 figures out how do we go from the full text of the article into the abstract of that article. So next slide. So why did we make this? Well, we made this because we just want to make science really easy to understand. Science is becoming more and more important every day, and we feel like we need to supplement, we need to improve we need to make science more simpler so more people can understand it. There's also a demand for science communicators, people who help explain science in layman terms for people. And we feel like with this product, we will be able to help explain science to people in the same way a science communicator probably would. And that's it.
Awesome. Can we give them a round of applause, right? That was great work. That was a great presentation. Thanks, guys. Really cool to see you guys got multiple products out there. That's really fascinating to see. You had two. You got the scientific translator as well as the connotation translator. That was super fascinating to see the work there. I really like, messing around with the connotation translator, getting to see how it will modify, different sentences is great. Did we put the link in the chat for everyone to take a look at right now? If not, can someone do that? And then the last thing I want to emphasize is the link that they're about to send in the chat is not the permanent link. We have the website is done and completed, but if you want to mess around with it right now, it's there. If you, the permanent version of the site will be available at this link, which I'm about to throw in the chat. And it will be ready just this afternoon. So if you want to look at this in the future, you can use this other site.
Yeah, Robert, I don't think we can access the CoCast link. So yeah, we basically have to wait for the full actual. Yeah, no worries. I kind of wanted to see what
set the project to become public.
That could be a way, if you can figure that out. But could you? I wanted to try the sentence. If we have time. Is that okay? Like,
we've got time for that.
Okay, can you try the sentence I put in the chat just now? This is like an evil curiosity of mine. What would happen if you try to make this more positive?
Yeah, Neil, do you want to show everyone that?
I love hate you.
Yes, mixed emotion.
He's trying to break it.
The classic,
Everyone wants to do.
Neil, could you share screen? Show us that one.
Yeah, sure.
I'd love to hate you.
So what do you want me to type?
I love hate you.
I love hate you. Okay, and what do you want me to set it to?
Let's try making it a lot more negative for now. Okay. And then... Interesting, right?
The opposite.
Okay. A lot more positive. I love dislike you.
I see.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, this is better than the thesaurus.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Nice, yeah.
Good job, guys.